News is coming to you live from the News Hub here at Ajisowe Kanda. I'm Natalie Fort.
I'm Mr. Money. Up next is the headlines for this hour. Stay with us.
News 360 Headlines is brought to you by Deluxe Paint, Heaven Black Mosquito Coil and Spray,
Premier Health Insurance, Calipo, and Nido Fortigro. Your love, their future.
4 persons arrested in the Etiwa Forest Reserve in the Eastern region for illegal mining.
Deputy Minister for Transport calls for dialogue on legalizing commercial motorcycling transport industry, popularly known as Okada.
Admission head teacher of Kachilendo DA Primary School praises TV3 for exposing child labor in his school.
Hundreds dead in Indonesia quake and tsunami. We've got the details of these stories for you and some more news here on News 360. You could watch us on DSTV channel 279 and all across the world on 3news.com. Let's get started with our very first story this evening. 4 persons have been arrested by a joint team from the Forestry Commission and military personnel in the Etiwa Forest Reserve in the Eastern region. Now, this brings to a total of 61 arrests since January this year.
Information we gathered from forest guards indicates the suspects usually enter the forest in small groups unnoticed. With just an axe and shovel, illegal mining is done. Due to the restrictions on small-scale mining and ban on illegal mining, these illegal miners move to the heart of the Etiwa Forest Reserve to mining groups. They set up temporal structures to aid their activities for the period of stay. Lands have been destroyed, with water bodies polluted as well. The Etiwa Forest Reserve is a source of potable water to 5 million people. Its size is estimated at 232 kilometers square and can hardly be monitored by the inadequate forest guards who must walk the length and breadth of the entire forest over hours daily. The 4 arrested had traveled with others from Oda, Kede, and its environs to engage in mining without license. The Eastern Regional Forestry Manager, Yao Itiaheni Nyakun, expressed worry at the trend of illegal mining inside the forest. He believes setting up camps at strategic positions in the forest with more forest guards would help protect it.
We've had some forest guards recently under Forestry Commission YEA program who are doing protection, who are helping us. But we still need more. And, and also the logistics. You see, look at the road leading to the forest gate, how we suffered to get all the cars that were not using 4x4, we had to leave them behind. And for the forest guard to cover all this distance, we need tents and other things so that we can pitch camp here.
And classroom congestion at Nimoro Catholic Primary School in the Sisala West District of the Upper West Region is affecting academic work. School authorities say congestion and lack of teachers contributed to the school's poor performance at the Basic Education Certificate examination. Yakub Abdul Ghafoor reports that only 10 teachers, including the head teacher, are managing the school with a population of 449 pupils.
Nimoro Catholic Primary School was established in 1956, a year before Ghana gained its independence. It was established to serve the educational needs of Nimoro and adjoining communities. More than 60 years after its establishment, the school is battling with lack of infrastructure and is now overpopulated. The primary school currently has a population of 449 pupils. The school has only 10 teachers managing 9 classrooms. Apart from Primary 1, which has 45 pupils, Primary 2 to 6 have between 70 and 100 pupils each, which is making teaching and learning ineffective. There is no known school uniform in the school because each pupil comes in their own dress. Class 4 alone has 97 pupils. Their teacher, Theodore Kingsford, explained his challenges handling the class.
Sometimes class control is very, very difficult because you'll be teaching and because of the number, you'll be talking and other side, you'll be also talking. It makes teaching and learning very, very difficult.
A local non-governmental organization, Infialimo Vibrant Village Foundation, has intervened by building a 3-classroom block to decongest primary 6, but the rest of the 5 classes are still suffering. Head teacher of the school, Giori Lambert, lamented about the situation and called on governments to renovate the school's old abandoned structure to support the school.
In the 47 people who represent 21%, it's just about only 10 people that pass.
The situation at the junior high school with 284 pupils is no different. Pupils sit in a partially ripped-off facility and school activities come to a halt with rain. Assistant head teacher of the school, Sonny Gilbert, said the school recorded 14% in BEC in 2016, 12.5% in 2017, and 21% this year. He attributed the failure to congestion and lack of teachers in the school.
Their performance are very low in the classroom, and then the class desk too, the sitting arrangement is poor due to the congestion in the classroom.
Salah West District Education Director Stella Dogbe has appealed for more classrooms for the school to enhance effective teaching and learning. She also complained about the poor teacher-to-pupils ratio in the district.
So if we get another structure, we have seen that the numbers will still be great.
Salah West District Chief Executive Mohammed Zakaria Bako admitted the congestion and said the Assembly has plans to renovate the abandoned structure and to decongest the school.
The National Vocational Training Institute, NVTI, has begun psychiatric therapy sessions for over 240 female students who were affected by a devastating fire last week. The executive director of NVTI, Mausi Nudeko Awiti, explained that the sessions are meant to offer therapeutic healing to the students and assist them to overcome the trauma that they experienced to enable them prepare for their upcoming external examination.
A ravaging fire swept through most parts of the girls' hostel at Biriwa National Vocational Training Institute and Rehabilitation Center in the Infantiman municipality of the Central Region on Thursday, September 20. The devastating fire consumed many items worth thousands of cedis, including students' mattresses, books, beds, cooking utensils, and undisclosed sums of money. In all, 6 of about 12 affected rooms were totally burnt, with over 240 female students displaced. The cause of the fire was not immediately known, but the Ghana National Fire Service has begun investigations. There was no casualty, but the students were devastated by the damage caused to their belongings. These are students who have barely 2 weeks to write the external examination. The displaced students have been sent home for 1 week to allow management set for temporary accommodation. The executive director of the National Vocational Training Institute, Mausi Nudeko Awiti, visited the school to inspect the extent of damage.
Looking at the damage, we would have to appeal to everyone, governments, individuals, NGOs, to come to the aid of Biriwa National Vocational Training Institute.
She had meetings with the staff and students, during which she called for psychological therapy for the affected students to overcome the trauma in good time before the external examination.
Most of trainees come from marginalized homes. They're vulnerable people. And so facing this challenge, it will be difficult for them to come back fully equipped to continue with the course.
Mausi Nudeko called on stakeholders and individual organizations to assist the school.
And now, Head of Public Health at the Veterinary Services Department, Dr. Bashiru Boy Kikumoto, has urged government to provide funds for rabies vaccination in the country. His request to government comes as the global community celebrates World Rabies Day today. Speaking to TV3, Dr. Bashiru Boy Kikumoto said it is time policymakers enacted bylaws to restrict people from letting loose their dogs.
World Rabies Day, marked on September 28 each year, is an international awareness campaign coordinated by the Global Alliance for Rabies Control, a non-profit organization headquartered in the United States. The day's celebration coincides with the anniversary of the death of Louis Pasteur, who, with the collaboration of his colleagues, developed the first efficacious rabies vaccine. World Rabies Day aims to raise awareness about the impact of rabies on humans and animals. Here in Accra, the news team caught up with Sadek Brahma Annan, a young man plying his trade as a dog breeder. The visit was to ascertain the importance of rabies vaccination to Mr. Annan as a breeder of dogs. He says he makes it an effort to get his dogs vaccinated every year.
I started with pit bulls, then I later got into American bulldogs, then I got into the mastiffs, and I make sure their veterinary visit is very on point, because to get any of these dogs is an investment, and the rabies shot is less than 100 Ghana cedis at the veterinary hospital. So I wouldn't risk such investments for just 100 Ghana cedis, no. So my dogs, when it comes to deworming and vaccinations, they're on point.
Sadek Brahma Anand says his love for the keeping of dogs is unflinching.
I didn't start keeping dogs because of the money aspect. I have love for dogs. I don't see myself living without a dog around me. So yes, it started as having love for them. Then I realized there was a business opportunity to it. Then I took advantage of it.
For Dr. Bashiru Boy Kikimoto, head of public health at the Veterinary Services Department, rabies is claiming more lives.
The cases of rabies here, there are many. For example, I can tell you that from 2009 to 2013, we had 901 rabies cases. And those cases were all diagnosed in the various laboratories throughout the whole country. So out of the 901 suspected cases, about 762 were all positive that involved human beings.
He urged the government to provide funds for rabies vaccination in the country, since rabies is preventable.
Globally, you have to vaccinate the dogs up to 70% each year. By Ghana, the highest ever vaccination we had gotten has been 2013, which was 17%. So you see the gap. So that alone shows that we are still very far away in controlling rabies in this country. There is huge amount that government needs to devote time, because rabies is 100% preventable. So no Ghanaian is actually supposed to die from the rabies.
Dr. Bashiru Boy Kikimoto and Sadek Brahma Anand have these messages for Ghanaians on the occasion of World Rabies Day.
Make sure that in case some people are coming to your house to vaccinate, be sure that the person is a proper veterinarian. We don't want people who carry vaccines without using cold chain to come and vaccinate, and you think that is vaccinated.
It is a duty onto anybody that owns a dog to have time and make sure that the dogs get all the necessary attention, not only just the rabies shot, but deworming it and visiting the vet as regular as possible.
Let's turn to politics now, as President Akufo-Addo says the determination by some elements within the National Democratic Congress to review the free senior high school policy if voted into office only means the eventual collapse of the policy. The president said Ghanaians should be alarmed by the proposal of the NDC and its presidential aspirant, John Dramani Mahama, for a review of the free SHS policy to deny more students gaining access to senior high school.
President Akufo-Addo was addressing a town hall meeting of Ghanaians resident in Washington, D.C. as part of his trip to the United States of America for the 73rd session of the United Nations General Assembly. President Akufo-Addo, who was alarmed by the concept of review by the NDC, citing the failure of one-term premium of the NHIS and degrading of the initiative when they attempted a review.
I suspect reviewing means collapsing it. That's my understanding. But I don't think that the Ghanaian people are going to allow this very important policy to be collapsed.
President Akufo-Addo added that the decision to embark upon a free SHS and the double-track system was the best education initiative that ever happened to the country. He insisted that there is absolutely nothing unusual or strange about the double-track system, since it has worked very well in many countries that have used it.
The 3.6% rate of growth we inherited in 2016 when we came to office at the beginning of 2017, by the end of 2017, had gone to 8.5%. And it has shown that, yes, the decision the Ghanaian people made to change course and trust the management of the economy into different hands has paid off.
And students with disability at the University of Cape Coast face a challenge in accessing teaching and learning materials, and this impedes their academic work. The president of the Association of Students with Disability, Caritas Tete, said inadequate computers for students poses a major challenge in performing academic assignments.
The association is made up of students with visual impairments, physical disability and hearing difficulty. A major concern for students with visual impairments has been access to braille sheets for academic work. The Ghana Investment Fund for Electronic Communication has donated 30 laptops and 10 desktop computers to help bridge the gap between students and ICT and their resource center respectively. This forms part of GIFEC's targets to provide 1,000 computers to persons with special needs for the 2018-2019 academic year. Speaking at a special digital literacy program at UCC, the administrator for GIFEC, Kofi Asante, indicated that GIFEC seeks to bridge the digital gap.
We want to partner with this laboratory and with the persons with disability and equip the students with the requisite ICT capacities that will effectively help them to acquire the skills in the turbulent job market.
30 students with disability received laptops installed with non-visual desktop access, a software to help improve on their academic work. 10 desktop computers and accessories were handed over to the Resource Center for Alternative Media and Assistive Technology at UCC. The Vice Chancellor of the University of Cape Coast, Professor Joseph Ampiagati, while appreciating the gesture, indicated the university will collaborate with relevant stakeholders to enhance the academic lives of students with disability.
We're going to work together with them so that we better the lot of our students here and move beyond that in whatever way possible as a university, to also assist the ministry and GIFEC to be able to do more.
In some other news this evening, 150 oyster pickers at Chokome and Botiano in the Greater Accra region have undertaken an 18-month course in co-management training in ecology and the reproductive cycle of the oysters. The initiative is a collaboration between the Sustainable Fisheries Management Project and Development Action Association in partnership with the University of Cape Coast Aquaculture Department.
The oyster pickers and some fisherfolks in Chokome, Botiano and its environs remain a shining example when it comes to the protection of ecological systems and life underwater. Whilst the entire country was struggling to devise acceptable means of replenish the depleting fish stock, fishers and oyster pickers along the Dinsu River have observed 6 months close season to improve their yield. The training of the 150 oyster pickers is yet another feat by the people aimed at sustaining their environment and aquatic life. This demonstrates their understanding that sustainability of the resource is very key to their livelihood and future investment opportunities.
There's oyster in the Dinsu Delta near the Bojo Beach area, and over the years it's not been managed sustainably. So what the Sustainable Fisheries Management Project is to support these women so as to come out with a management plan so that they'll be able to manage the resource themselves.
Greater Accra Regional Director of the Fisheries Commission, Hannah Eje Buachi, advised the beneficiaries to use their acquired skills to enhance their businesses and also replicate it across other shores.
This is a group that, if you don't take care, the first time you meet them, you might think when it comes to technical stuff they can't handle. And that tells me anybody at all, when the person gets the opportunity, can do something.
And now, Deputy Minister for Transport Daniel Nikwate Titus Glover has called for stakeholder dialogue on the legalization of commercial motorcycle transport, popularly called Okada. He spoke in an exclusive interview with TV3.
The Okada transport industry has gained strong ground in Ghana. Most people who patronize Okada services see it as the fastest way to overcome the heavy vehicular traffic in the capital city. The Okada industry is believed to be a major source of road accidents in Ghana. Provisional statistics on road accidents indicate that 1,059 persons have so far perished between January to June this year, an increase from 933 recorded in 2017. This mode of commercial transportation is, however, illegal in Ghana with the passage of the Road Traffic Regulations 2012, Legislative Instrument 2180. Deputy Minister for Transport Titus Glover believes a stakeholders' conversation on the Okada transport industry will help in framing the right policy if this mode of transportation is to be legalized.
A time may come that we can sit down as a ministry, as Ghanaians, to look at the issues, both the for and against of these riders. Trust me, when you come to motor riders, one thing I've observed is that when you go to the 3 northern regions, it is seriously enforced. When there's traffic light, you see all these riders complying. They stop, they observe. When it's green, they all go. But when we come to the south here, they drive anyhow. So these are issues that it's still ongoing, and with the middle at the right time, we can have a finality to it.
However, a board member of the National Road Safety Commission, George Foster Bafo, thinks this is not the time to legalize the Okada industry.
I think that we are not there yet. Okay, we are not there yet. I think that a lot of education must come into it, and then stakeholders must come on board for us to have a national debate on this issue. But from what I'm seeing, with the level of recalcitrance, with the level of unruly behavior that I'm seeing as far as, commercial motorbikes is concerned, I mean, with the popular parlance is Okada, all right? I don't think that this is the time for it.
The popular councillor, who doubles as a road safety ambassador, George Lutrot, is calling for the strict enforcement of the road traffic regulations.
2 things must be involved. Either we surcharge them to pay or begin to discipline them on the spot. Collect the keys from some people, seize their driver's license, let them live without driving for some time so that they go hungry. But the punishment in this country is so minimal.
Well, Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, Yofi Grant, has expressed confidence that the GIPC would meet its 2018 target of $10 billion in foreign direct inflows. Out of the $5 billion targeted last year, the center mobilized $4.91 billion. He, however, raised concerns with the lack of adherence to regulations by some companies, which leads to the loss of revenue to the country.
You had a $5 billion target for 2017. Were you able to achieve that?
Not to the entire figure, but largely achieved. We registered about 4.9 billion of FDI, of new money that was registered. But I also contend that it may be likely that there's a lot more that we do not actually register and account for from maybe extra investments or additional investments that a lot of the investors bring in, existing investors who already have businesses here. So I'm sure some of the oil and gas companies, some of the manufacturing companies, the expansion capital, etc., bring in some more money. Some of it may be from retained profits, but some of them from real, reinvestments. And that's the challenge that we have in putting all that together and making sure we have accurate amount of FDI that comes in.
In the first quarter of last year, I recall you had FDIs of $3 billion just for the first quarter of 2017. What's the situation in 2018, 1 year on?
We are still putting the numbers together. Like I did say at the beginning, we are making sure that we have a number that accurately reflects what the situation is, and just not picking the numbers of our books, because I know that a lot of these companies are reinvesting, some are expanding, and we need to know how much they are putting there. So we are working all that together, accurate figures.
And now Ghana's inability to regain its status as #1 cocoa producing country had been blamed on the youth dislike for cocoa farming. Students from second cycle schools in Accra believe Ghana can only regain its #1 cocoa production position if government attracts the youth to cocoa production.
Ghana has lost the enviable world #1 cocoa producer country to neighboring Ivory Coast. Ghana produced over 1 million metric tons of the beans in 2011, but output fell to an average of 850,000 tons annually due to pest invasion and unfavorable weather. As a result, the government has put in place strategies to boost annual cocoa production and sustain it beyond the 1 million tons per year. Studies have shown that the average age for cocoa farmers was between 55 and 65 years. This, according to researchers, will continue to affect the production of cocoa if the youth are not enticed to go into cocoa production. Against this backdrop, Solidaridad, a non-governmental organization in collaboration with other stakeholders, introduced the youth to cocoa production. Students from Accra Girls High School and Ideal College said attracting the youth to cocoa farming will increase production. They insisted sustaining Ghana's cocoa production is dependent upon pragmatic innovations that will entice the youth.
Ghana is making more profits from that. So to me, I will encourage everyone that if you think you are not really certain on a career you want to go into the cocoa farming procedure. As you move on, Ghana's economy will improve.
It's a very lucrative job to be able to do that on their own, being cocoapreneurs instead of going out for white-collar jobs and then running helter-skelter on the streets.
Over 100 students from selected senior high schools in Accra were taking on a tour-dubbed cocoa learning experience to the Ghana Cocoa Processing Company and Niche Cocoa in the Greater Accra region to expose them to how cocoa is processed into different products. The organizers of the program believed Ghana can live up to expectation if right policies are geared towards the involvement of the youth in cocoa production.
I realize that the youth of today doesn't know a lot more about the cocoa. And then when they finish school too, they don't know anything about things that they have to even do after school. So a day that I set up that I will let them go through the cocoa so that when they grow, they can become cocoa farmers or they can set up factories to do more so that the cocoa that is backbone for Ghana, we will still maintain it.
Cocoa is considered as the backbone of Ghana's economy as the commodity remains the country's main agricultural export.
You're watching News 360. Stay with us as we bring you some more from Mission shortly. Welcome back to News 360. Let's now get into our mission segment, which is brought to you by Star Ghana with support from UK Aid, Danida and the European Union. We start off with mission on a good note this evening as the head teacher of the Kachilendo DA Primary School in the Kpandai district of the Northern Region, Eric Humpe, who was implicated for using pupils to raise yam mounds, has commended TV3 mission for the expose. He said the school has gained tremendous benefit from TV3's exposure of child labor.
The basic school, since its inception, has been faced with numerous challenges. Dominating these is the lack of furniture. Pupils sit on broken pieces of desks during lessons. The school authorities, overwhelmed by these problems, decided to use pupils as labor on school farms to raise money to mold desks for the school during instructional hours. The head teacher, Eric Humpe, came under intense pressure after TV3 aired the exploitation of pupils in the school.
It's unfortunate that that particular teacher who made that statement, that they were using the children to actually do work to get money to get furniture for the school, was a complete lie.
The Ghana Education Service supplied the school with 80 dual desks, teachers' tables and chairs after TV3 mission brought the exploitation to light.
It's a great relief in the sense that as a teacher coming in, seeing this desks gives you confidence even as you are preparing to come and deliver. And pupils also will be saved the ordeal they go through, even trying to find space to write. So it's a great relief and it's duly appreciated.
All the pupils now have decent seats. A Class 2 pupil told the mission team how relieved they are.
I find it difficult to learn what is being taught in class when sitting on the bare floor. But now, I am happy because I am sitting on a desk.
Eric Humpe praised TV3 Mission for getting results for the school.
As a head teacher, I'm so grateful for this expose because if it hadn't been so, this improvement wouldn't have come. So sometimes it's good we get some of this expose. So I appreciate all that TV3 has done in our school, and we are very grateful.
School has resumed 3 weeks ago, but most pupils have reported without books. The mission team then donated some stationery to the school. The gesture, through a philanthropist, will help to improve access to quality education. Pupils are confident to participate in classworks. One of their challenges has been addressed, but more will be required to address the infrastructure needs of the school.
We don't have textbooks. Places of convenience for the children is another issue. With this rainy season, the child begs permission to go to nature school and you don't exactly know where the child is entering. It's a great concern. So we have a lot of challenges still pending.
Great to see Mission getting results then. We seek to continue to do so. But still in the northern region, let's turn to healthcare. As the maternity ward of the Evangelical Church of Ghana Hospital in the Kwandai district of the region records 5 neonatal deaths averagely each month. The cause of deaths have been blamed on the absence of incubators. Here's a report by Zubaida Ismail.
At least 5 out of the about 40 babies delivered each month died due to inadequate medical attention. Thus is the sad story of the Evangelical Church of Ghana Hospital, established to provide medical care in Kwandai and about 20 communities within the Eastern Corridor. The maternity ward was constructed in 2015 to bridge the gap of maternal care in communities along the Eastern Corridor, by reducing the risk in traveling 43 kilometers during labor from Kwandai to the Bimbila Hospital. Though there were no deliveries at the time of our visit, the nurse in charge of the ward, Grace Bidenpum, indicated about half of the babies born in the facility are preterm.
Some of the mothers do not come early, like they will labor in the house, which we say prolonged labor, so it can let the baby also die. Then some of them too, it is lack of some of the equipments that is the cause of our babies dying, especially the fresh deaths. Some of them we don't have the ambu bags that we can use, and then oxygen.
The facility has only one up-to-date delivery bed. An improvised delivery bed supports in the face of more than one delivery, she says.
The leg, you see, is moving. And when the woman is in pain and you have to help the person who rest the leg, it is not always easy. So the woman finding it difficult. At times you have to rather put the legs on the bed itself instead of resting it on the bed.
In the absence of an incubator to keep babies warm, the kangaroo mother care would be the best bet for mothers who deliver here. But the limited space will not permit a kangaroo mother care. Work on a maternity hall which contains delivery and kangaroo mother care rooms has stalled.
Most of the times we don't have the oxygen and then the incubator. The incubator will help keep the baby warm. But and then like most of the times we do kangaroo mother care to support those that are very strong. But those that are weak, that we have used that one to support them, we don't get as a.
Meanwhile, no maternal mortality has been recorded in 3 years, a feat that allays the fear of expectant mothers who go for delivery in the ECG hospital. Zubaida Ismail, TV3, Kwandai.
rather worrying development there. And that's how we wrap up our mission segment this evening. It's brought to you by Star Ghana with support from UK Aid, Danida and the European Union.
Now, while a healthy and balanced diet is the first step towards having a healthy heart, there are also a bunch of exercises that can help you get there. Media General and the National Cardiothoracic Center has marked this year's World Heart Day with a 10-kilometer walk in Accra.
World Heart Day is a global campaign observed annually on September 29 to raise awareness about the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular diseases. According to the World Health Organization, heart-related diseases and stroke are among the world-leading causes of death globally. As part of efforts to sensitize the public about the importance of heart health, the National Cardiothoracic Center of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, with support from 3 Foundation and MTN Foundation, has marked this year's World Heart Day with a 10-kilometer walk. Fitness activities were conducted for participants while stressing on the need for regular exercise. Chief of Cardiology at the National Cardiothoracic Center of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, Dr. Abdul Samed Tanko, encouraged the public to inculcate the habits of regular exercise.
This exercise that we did today is something we encourage every day. Brisk walking, 30 minutes, is fantastic for the body. And you reduce your cardiovascular risks, you reduce your chances of getting stroke and chances of getting heart attack. Smoking is killing and it's injurious to the lungs and to the heart.
Some participants shared the experience.
Feeling wasn't bad at all.
Kwegu Ahiagbele is the group head of corporate affairs for Media General.
And we are really excited to be part of this awesome work. We had thousands of people turning up for this year's World Heart Day. At Media General, we decided to celebrate the entire month of September as World Heart Month. Throughout the month, we were sharing with our viewers, our listeners, tidbits about keeping their heart healthy.
Some partners of this year's program pledged their support to the National Cardiothoracic Center to help in heart-related surgeries. They were also screened for cardiovascular diseases. The event attracted several distinguished guests, including the 2018 Brand Ambassador, Commissioner General of Ghana Revenue Authority, Emmanuel Kofi Nti, presenters for Media General, and all contestants from this year's Ghana Most Beautiful.
A healthy heart is certainly the way to go. Now, the mobile telecommunication giant, MTN Ghana, has exposed business owners and other groups in Kumasi to opportunities to boost their operations using the internet. Other residents and subscribers experienced the fun of the 2018 MTN Annual Internet Fest, dubbed iFest.
iFest, the 6th edition of MTN Ghana's annual Internet Festival, was climaxed with 3 days of business and fun-filling activities. The month-long festival is dedicated to data education, awareness creation, and the promotion of the inherent benefits of broadband data access to the public. This year's iFest was organized with support from MTN Ghana's digital partners Huawei, Tecno, Jumia, Microsoft, Samsung, and Infinix. It forms part of activities marking the 20th anniversary celebrations of MTN Ghana. Activities for the celebration included mobile device fairs, data clinics, market storms, and engagements with trade unions. Day 1 of the celebration in Kumasi was an engagement with trade unions who were educated about the benefits of the internet on business development. They were taken through steps of uploading videos on YouTube and pictures on social media platforms to market their products and services. Some participants commended MTN for the training offered to them to help improve their businesses.
The MTN company has helped us to know how to introduce ourselves to what they call technology, internet, YouTube, how we can advert ourselves without anybody or without computer. We can use our phones to do those access.
The more I upload on your YouTube, no, as I bought my income be, and I say, I'm going to meet you in a month.
It was interesting and I've learned a lot. It's also going to promote my work.
YouTube. A lot of people have access to YouTube. The more you upload your videos, the more you market your products.
The mobile device fairs and data clinics were held at the Kumasi City Mall on day 2 of the iFest celebration. Patrons had the opportunity to spin and win prizes such as MTN airtime and data, 4G modems, pen drive, t-shirts, amongst other souvenirs. On the third day, patrons of the festival had the privilege to interact one-on-one with some IT experts. They received basic education on how to secure their social media accounts and make money from YouTube channels. Patrons were empowered to take advantage of the full potential of the internet. MTN is urging all Ghanaians to embrace the wealth of opportunities being offered by the digital revolution. The theme for this year's iFest is faster connectivity, smarter business.
You're watching News 360, and we'll return shortly with sports, and Yao Fusulabi will be here with us.
Welcome back to News 360. On the international front this evening, more than 380 people have been confirmed dead after a tsunami triggered by a magnitude 7.5 earthquake hit an Indonesian city on Friday. Waves up to 3 meters high swept through Palu on Sulawesi Island. A video on social media shows people screaming and fleeing in panic, and a mosque among the buildings damaged. Strong aftershocks continue to rock the city on Saturday. Thousands of homes have collapsed, along with hospitals, hotels and shopping centers. Rescue efforts are underway, though hampered by a major power cut. The main road to Palu has been blocked due to a landslide. Indonesia's disaster agency said at least 384 people have been killed, while more than 350 have been injured. A less powerful quake earlier on Friday had killed at least 1 person and injured at least 10 in the smaller fishing town of Donaja. It is not clear whether the deaths came through the quake or the resulting tsunami.
In other international news, President Donald Trump has ordered an FBI investigation into sexual misconduct allegations against his nominee for the U.S. Supreme Court. A Senate committee earlier voted to approve Brett Kavanaugh's nomination to the top U.S. court, but a Republican member only backed the move on the understanding that such an inquiry would occur. As a result, a full Senate vote on Judge Kavanaugh's confirmation has been delayed for up to a week. Judge Kavanaugh, an appeal court judge, denies allegation from at least 3 women.
There's more international news on our website. It's 3news.com. Coming up next on News 360 is entertainment news. In entertainment news this evening, DJ Switch's confidence and dexterity caught diplomats and world leaders spellbound as she opened the Gates Foundation's Goalkeepers event as the warm-up act to French President Emmanuel Macron. Usuarai reports the Wonder Kid and winner of Talented Kids Season 8, DJ Switch, has arrived in Ghana after her impressive exploits on the world stage.
Born Erica Tando, DJ Switch has in the past few days made the headlines for her impressive exploits. The DJ prodigy and entertainer was a proud guest at the 2018 Goalkeepers meeting, an event that discussed world issues. The talent from Dadieso became the talk of town after opening the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation's annual Goalkeepers event as the warm-up act to French President Emmanuel Macron. The exploits of the gifted DJ also caught many spellbound. Supermodel Naomi Campbell and wife of Bill Gates, Melinda Gates, who enjoyed DJ Switch's talent, were seen posing for the camera with the DJ prodigy. Sawawin world leaders at the Global Awards ceremony, DJ Switch touched down in Ghana on Saturday morning. Many have congratulated the winner of Talented Kids Season 8 for mastery on the turntable, total confidence, and for making Ghana proud.
Now, dance sport, a competitive ballroom dance, has been launched in Ghana to help discover dancing talents to compete in the World's Olympics. Speaking at the launch, President of the Ghana Dance Festival, Robert Clark, noted the initiative would put the spotlight on the talent from Ghana while promoting traditional dance.
Recognized by International Olympic Committee in 1997, dance sports is yet to be included as an official event at the Olympics, but it appears the road to Olympic gold for dance sports is paved. Dance sports, the glamorous and exciting leisure activity, was launched in Ghana to support talented dancers and give them the opportunity to go to Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games.
So Dance Sports Ghana is actually here, and our mission is to promote the sports of dance. Our purpose is to be able to churn out the best talents we can find in this country and give them the platform for them to be able to express their talents locally and internationally. Competitions in Africa and in the rest of the world, and ultimately in the Olympics.
The night brought together 16 dance groups for a 3-round dance challenge. Contestants came with their A game, treating patrons to the best traditional dances and some amazing Afro-Latin dance moves. After a hard-fought battle, the Soldiers Dance Group emerged winners.
It's a challenge, yeah, and everyone, before you attend a challenge, there's a feeling, but then we soldiers, we believe in ourselves, yeah, we are overwhelmed and we don't know what to say, yeah.
Fun, isn't it? And you know, I'm totally glad about how DJ Switch's success on the international stage, and the platform, obviously created by TV3's Talented Kids. It's very exciting.
I think it's a huge one for promoting our road. So talents are very important. And the dance movie that we just saw, I think I like the dance moves as well.
You were watching the dance moves closely.
To also go and compete and show their talents.
Absolutely.
That's it for this edition of News 360 TV3. My name is Cesar Moni.
I'm Natalie Fort. Visit our website, 3news.com, for some more news. Thanks so much for watching. Have a lovely evening.